Today's episode is sponsored by Kuru Dice. More on them later in the episode.
I now can't get the image of us doing the news out of my head because it's right in front of me. Hello. Tonight on the BBEG podcast, we will be covering rogues. Are they for you or not?
Have you been affected by a rogue? A
It
number will
wasn't
be at
your
the end of this
fault.
programme.
If you've been affected by a rogue and it wasn't your fault, please email in at the BBEG podcast at gmail.com.
We've been recording for 6 minutes.
We're rolling.
Dice.
Camera.
Action.
Hello and welcome to the BBEG podcast, which of course stands for Big Bad Evil Giraffe.
Hell yeah.
Welcome back, guys. It is season 2, and as you can tell, we've had a little change up.
A smidgen.
A little bit of a.
We banished N.
Yeah, got rid of him.
Dimension door.
Yes. No, he's currently away working, so we have brought him in virtually through the power of the internet. Hello, Em.
Astral projection, actually.
Oh,
Just
sorry.
that higher. I'm that higher wizard.
Oh, of course.
Yeah. But yeah,
Oh,
hi from
yes,
Germany.
So you may spot some of your favourites or even discover some more.
Today we are going to be talking about the Rogue, which was my first class in the campaign that M ran. Wait, he's that side. That M ran. It's the ins and outs, the goods, the bads, the uglies, the expertise and skills you get. We're going to be divulging into the Rogue class today.
Yeah.
So, to kick off, Will, why a rogue? What drew you to picking that as your first ever class?
So whenever I play video games, I always like to build the stealth builds.
Okay.
Like if it's Skyrim or Deus Ex, I'm always picking like the stealthy perks and stuff like that. So I was like, but also that's one aspect of the rogue, but I'm also, as a person, a very upfront, chatty, kind of
I'm sorry, I thought you were going to say sneaky.
sneaky boy. Big sneaky boy.
I love how
I
Hatty is
am a
laughing
person.
as if to say,
I'm
no,
sneaky,
not
and
true.
I was like,
I'm loud and proud.
yes.
So I kind of want to play like a little twist on the rogue where, yes, he's going to be involved with crime, but I want to make him a con man. So I put loads of, and we'll get into this later, loads of stats in charisma as well as dex. But that's why I like being sneaky and stealthy, and I can go loud when shit hits the fan.
Yeah.
That's why I like the idea of a rogue. You
To
guys
be
ever
fair,
played rogues before?
you utilize your rogue very well in our campaign.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That's the only compliment you're getting from me.
I think it's the first compliment I've ever got.
I called you handsome and charming at the one shot. I have made a list of every time I've complimented you. It's a very short one.
Now there are 2 points.
But yeah, I've never played a rogue. I have DM'd many, and I deem rogues as absolute bitches. Because as soon as anyone presents me with a rogue in game, I'm like, great, now I have to rethink every encounter that I have thought of, because all those juicy bonuses in features where you can sneak and just deal some extra nasty little damage, like Gilly in the one shot, like she utilized that very well.
She did.
I just have to think a bit more, and you guys know me, my brain capacity isn't that big in the first place. So if anything, rogues have just made me really go, these guys have the ability to really change the course of what you're planning, and not in a mean way like, oh, I don't want to play how you've created it. It is in pure essence of a rogue and how they go about things. You just got to go with it. It's the same with any character. You don't know who's playing. Every person who plays does it differently. I think to summarize the sort of rogue, you know, they have all these wonderful skills and abilities that allow them to be, I like this term, I'm coining it, the perfect little sneaky sneak. It is an official term. You can find it on D&D Beyond. But all their features allow the rogue to like enhance. See, you can find it in the PHP because I wrote
the
it.
PHP that they got for my birthday. Wait, that's not the camera.
That's
This is
not
the
the camera.
camera. Sneaky boy,
Yeah.
happy birthday, you sneaky boy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
May everything be blessed with the power of
Genuinely
sneak and...
a phrase he uses.
Yeah.
I think if you're looking for that class that allows you to like have that stealth to sneak around, because sneaky doesn't just mean like you're a sneaky personality. It means like you've got to get from point A to point B without being seen. You might be adept at, stealing a coin purse or two without someone realizing. You get those bonuses to help you hide better. Basically, the shadows are your best friend. And you get those cheeky little sneak attack bonuses, which I think Will loves. And it allows you... I think it's also a great build for an Inquisitor style role, because you typically get to bounce off the idea of like spotting traps and things like that and using that investigative side. Because there are so many ways to play a rogue, not just stab you in the back, but because they can do things stealthily, they can get to things without being seen. Whereas a wizard who might have the intelligence to spot something, it could have been across a room filled with traps, but the rogue's the only one who's actually going to be able to get there.
Yeah.
Yes.
Nimbly move over. That's the
I mean, there is a lot of like, we were talking stereotypes. For me, I wouldn't necessarily choose a rogue because in my head, they're all like burglars and assassins. And as much as that would be fun, that's not really me. And I can't roll very well, so I wouldn't be very good with one anyway. She'd be the most clumsiest rogue you've ever seen in your entire life.
I'd like to swan dive through the laser beams. Security system. It's that one.
Yeah, exactly. Stacks it, sets off alarm, gets trapped. Like that's how she's going down. But it's quite a... If you want to be a nimble creature who is able to get able to sneak in and sneak out of places, and you want that to be your character, then this might be for you.
So on that then, Will, as you chose this, how did you go about creating your class?
So if we're just going through like what a rogue gets, I put a load of stats into dexterity and charisma, like I said, because rogues get some wild abilities which must piss off DMs. Because you get things like level 5 uncanny dodge, where you take half damage from attacks, evasion, where you take like half damage from area effect, where you get to roll with advantage on have to do it. What's the exact wording of it? Sorry. When you're subjected to an effect that allows you to make a dexterity saving throw to only take half damage, instead, if you succeed, you take no damage.
Yeah.
It's like, that's mad. That must really piss DMs off. So I didn't put anything really into Constitution. I'm like, as soon as I hit level 5, I'm going to take half damage. I just need to stay out of the fray at first and find my character and how we can do that. And then I can get into it at level 5. But I think that was the main way I built it. I will get onto this later as well. There's the Arcane Trickster archetype.
Oh, yeah.
I made him a magic user purely because, and there were 2 reasons. I listened to Oxventure's Actual Play podcast, and Andy Farrant plays Corazon de Baena, who's a Arcane Trickster rogue. And I was like, oh, that sounds sick. I can be sneaky and use magic. And then when we actually got to the table, it was solidified because all you bastards knew magic and I didn't. Yep. So the first session I was there going, I use a book and then I stab and then I run and then I stab and then I run. I was like, I need some range spells. So, remember we did the spider fight.
We're all
Sorry, can we correct that? You run into a horde of zombies and then run away.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Yeah. I'm just going to go and see. No, they're zombies. Yeah, but I just want to go see.
I thought they were washed up sailors. I'm just going to go check on them.
They were dead.
I didn't know they were dead, though.
The jaunty way they walked was not giving it away.
Jaunty way they walked. What do people do? So yeah, I built him as a magic user because everyone else at the table was magic users, and I kind of felt like I was missing out on one of the main components of Dungeons and Dragons as my first character,
I get you.
so I wanted to get in on that. That's the way I built Lafaris.
Yeah.
Did the magic?
You-
Did it help when you got it? Like from the outside looking in, you were like, "These people have magic. I want magic." And then when you added it to your character, did it help, or did you end up thinking weapons would have been better?
So I chose spells based purely on the character, not what I thought was cool or what
Okay.
I thought was helpful.
Okay.
So is Tiefling Rogue. So Tiefling, you generally associate fire. So I
Yeah.
chose things with fire. But
Yep.
if he's also a con man, I was like minor illusion and stuff
Got you,
like that.
yep.
So I could. It's really I built it to flesh out the character,
Yes.
not what I think would have been cool.
Got you. Okay.
But that's a great way to do it. Like, I can be very guilty of seeing a spell and go, "Oh, that's so cool! I want it," and it has no correlation to the character I've made.
Yeah. So you
what I mean?
either go like max damage just because damage, or you can build something fun that's like, oh, that's a bit.
Hatty's
Sneaky,
looking
sneaky
away
boy.
like, yeah.
I don't do that. Don't know what you're talking about.
Well,
Cheeky
I don't
little
look at-
min-maxer over
Yeah,
here.
I just look at spells
doesn't
and
mean
think
you
that'd be cool. I
can't.
want to play that.
It doesn't mean
No,
you can't.
no.
but just like if you do that to every spell in your list, like you want some that boost your characters. And I think the way you said, you've got Arcane Trickster, you've got things like Assassins and Thieves, and loads of other subclasses. But like,
Yes.
so if you're playing an Arcane Trickster, I found it interesting that you said you put your second highest stat into Charisma, whereas typically for an Arcane Trickster, you'd want to consider Intelligence because
Intelligence.
your magic runs off Intelligence. But having a high Charisma rogue makes you great for social interactions. Your deception will be through the roof. Do you get what I mean?
Which is
Like,
what I wanted to go for. Yeah.
Yeah, your persuasion, the way you can lie to people. So definitely Dex for me should definitely be your highest because that's what most of your attacks are going to be off. And if you're going to be a nimble little freak who is running around shanking people left, right, and centre without being seen, I've just got images
Nimble
of Will
little freak,
running
make
down
a
Ealing
t-shirt.
Broadway with knives.
Jesus Christ.
But yeah, like obviously that makes the most sense. And then I guess it depends the route that you want to take it. However, you've also proved that you can still play a subclass that lends itself maybe to a stat more than the other, like Arcane Trickster lends itself to intelligence more than charisma.
Yep.
But also it does depend on what you roll. If you have decent rolls, then you can find your balance.
Yeah.
And also if
And
like a lot of people associate rogues with kind of being the lone wolf, if you've got charisma, you're no longer leaning into that stereotype.
That's another thing I wanted to defy as well, because I hear so many. I've started listening to D&D horror stories, and a lot is, he's the edgelord who doesn't want to, he wants to do his own thing, and I'm like, come on now.
Don't do a campaign for one,
You're
Ryan.
around the table with your friends,
Yeah.
possibly your friends. Get involved, be sociable,
Maybe
don't be a
your friends.
moody bastard at the table.
Exactly.
It's
Yeah.
so I want a very sociable one.
Yeah.
That's
But-
fine.
And then
that made it quite a refreshing thing to see coming into playing with our friends. You then lent into the we're here together.
No.
And that was great. Whereas
Yeah.
if you'd come being like, I don't want to talk to any of you, I think it would have
Killed the vibe.
I don't think it would have fit with your whole personality anyway. Because we play with
was
our
there
friends. We are not small. Yeah.
was there a reason for picking Tiefling as a rogue? Because I know the PHB typically recommends a Lightfoot halfling because obviously that Dex modifier as a racial bonus. Dex modifier, Dex boost as a racial bonus.
Yeah.
I can't remember what Tieflings get. Do they get something with Dex?
They get charisma.
Also, when building, you do want to look at your backgrounds. Obviously, again,
Yes.
the PHB does recommend the charlatan background, which
Mm.
does give you some nice little, juicy boosts in deception and sleight of hand, as well as getting a forgery kit and a disguise kit, which could be very handy if you want to play that thief.
Yeah.
But also, you might want to look at the criminal background,
Yeah.
which gives you the boost in stealth and deception. However, if your rogue character, you don't feel like that criminal suits you, there's also the spy background, which is basically they're almost identical except the way they're about. So one's not a criminal.
Yeah.
It could be that you're a reformed criminal and now you're working for your local government
With
as a
the
spy.
feds.
You get the same boost in stealth and deception, but you just get it in, you get boosts in some slightly different areas. So that's just role play.
Yeah, I think that's the main bit. You can build any character, any class, how you want, how you play at the table. That's how it defines. So don't let stereotypes define your character. Whichever class you choose.
Exactly.
So I just found a tiefling get +2 to charisma. That's why I chose it, and +1 to intelligence.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. So that would have worked for your Arcane Trickster.
Yeah.
So if you know in advance, that's a clever way to do it. And then you just hopefully get a good enough roll to put into your decks. And then your second and third highest roll, you're going to balance out with those charisma and intelligence boosts. So it makes sense.
And tieflings are fucking cool.
Yeah, they are. That's why 2 of you are at my table with the tiefling. But yeah.
We have had delivery of your dice, and I just wanted to know if you want to see them.
Yes! Today's episode is sponsored by Kuuriimu Dice. Kuuriimu are a company that operate out of Finland, but they ship worldwide, and our M was lucky enough to be sent some dice last month.
Oh, the bag is lush. Oh, they're so pretty.
Kuuriimu offer exquisite dice with their own personality in their designs, and you can tell from looking at their website just how high quality they are, as seen here in Hatty's hand.
It's like cosmic-y colours. I love it.
M was away on tour, so he actually can't touch his own dice at the minute. I don't like the phrase I just used. You can get full sets, individual D20s, as well as a couple of accessories such as magnets and stickers. But most importantly, they take commissions at good, competitive prices. We say go and check them out because their designs are gorgeous and they can make you exactly what you would like.
Is it bad that I don't even want to use that for a game? I would turn that into a necklace like a pendulum.
Right?
Kuuriimu, you can have that idea. You're welcome. Thank you to Kuuriimu for sponsoring this video. Go check them out in the description, link down below.
Why am I on tour and I can't have my dice?
But I would say it depends which way round you want to create your character. I know if you're following the PHB or D&D Beyond Online, there's a set way to create a character. But if you know that you want to be a rogue, there's nothing stopping you from going back into the races afterwards and maybe looking at something you haven't seen before just to see how it would affect the
I have
character.
done that before.
Yeah.
You build the whole character, then just flick through races and see how it affects ability scores.
Yeah.
I've done that,
Yeah,
Because then
like
it steers you
elves
away
lend
from...
themselves.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
And most people go, "Oh, but a high elf would never." But like most elves get a dex boost along with a boost in a different modifier, be it intelligence, wisdom, depending on like wood elf or high elf or whatnot. But they've got that boost in dexterity, so why wouldn't that work for a rogue?
Yeah, exactly. And like you have everything you're going to need in that class anyway. It's literally just a little add-on of what you want to bring, some extra flavor to that character. So if you don't mind what it is that you specifically look like and are just after the racial bonuses, create the character, go back and have a flick through.
Yeah, and it depends. If you want to write your backstory, you can just go, oh, well, this race wouldn't work for this class. Well, you don't know. You know my name, not my story.
Yeah.
That kind of vibe.
Exactly.
My backstory says different, sorry.
Yeah, nailed it. Yeah. Right, what is next?
Next
there's a
would
fly in the
be
studio.
your...
Got it.
Nah, you're just waving your hands around like
I'm
a
just
fool.
being the sneaky boy.
You do get some pretty cool features with the rogue.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. And it's, I think, one of the extra flavors that kind of brings out the character a little bit more. Because, like, you can be as sneaky as you like, but then looking at what you get at different levels or what you can bring or add on really means that you can tailor it to what you want to do. So if you want to be charisma based, you can see what it is and you can mold it specifically.
From level 1 or level 2, you get that expertise feature, which every class gets proficiencies and things, but you get to pick 2 skills. 2?
Yeah.
You get to pick some skills.
Yeah, and it's level 1.
Yeah.
So it's already...
To turn something you're proficient in into an expert. So not only do you get your normal +2 proficiency bonus at level 1, you get another +2 to go on top. So that's a +4 onto 2 skills.
Yeah.
So, and that's where you can decide how you want to take your rogue. Because if you want to put that +2 onto sleight of hand and be a little thief, cool. Yeah. If you want to be a con man, put it into deception or persuasion.
Exactly.
There you go.
Right.
That's how you can use it effectively at level 1.
Yeah.
Yeah, you also have like sneak attack.
The classic for a rogue.
The literal like
that is the iconic
poster child for a rogue is
Yes.
the sneak attack.
That
That if you want to
dirty
be
little
sneaky in your
extra.
attacks.
Like if that's the way you could initiate a fight as well, because
Yeah.
if there were times when you're hidden in the shadows and all the rest of the party are kind of facing it up front, just go, cool, I'm just going to go do a rogue thing real
Yeah.
quick, stick to the shadows, head round the edge of the dungeon,
Yeah.
and go, ready to go loud? Cool. I'm hidden, so advantage sneak attack, thanks, bang, let's
Yeah.
start.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the
It's
fact
just
that
crit damage,
powers up,
easy.
the higher level you get as well.
It's
Mhm.
extra D6 per, is it per level?
I think it's
Yeah.
like every so many levels it shifts up a gear.
Every 2 levels, it looks like. So
Oh.
level 3 it goes to 2d6, at level 5
Yeah.
it's 3d6. Yeah. Which you could do
But
some
still.
crazy fucking damage.
Well, considering that is already a bonus on top of a normal attack anyway.
Yeah.
Like, you can't complain. The fact that you get to be this stealthy little bugger who has come
Yeah.
out of nowhere, literally stab someone, and just get some extra damage die into a hit you've already done.
And then if the DM is feeling generous, and they want to say, actually, now that enemy is surprised, the enemy loses another turn. If the DM
Yeah.
is feeling generous.
It depends on
Fair
circumstance. If you literally snuck up on someone, say it wasn't combat, say you hadn't started combat and you snuck up on someone to get it in and it was going to turn into combat because of it, hell yeah, they'd be surprised. How wouldn't they? If
exactly.
you have jumped them and ambushed to a sense, why wouldn't they be surprised?
The other thing you get at level 1 just for being a rogue is Thieves Count, which is the language that thieves all know,
Yeah.
and they can write symbols around the towns or secret bases
Oh,
this
bless
way,
your
underground
heart.
market.
Okay.
I haven't really seen it come up in any podcast I listen to.
I personally love it. I think it's a great feature, and it's not a combat or a skill feature in that sense. I think it's a roleplay feature.
Yeah.
And I just
If
think
you
it
bump into
allows
another
your
rogue
character...
on the road.
Yeah, or be like, I'm going to carve this symbol in so that if we get lost and another rogue happens to appear, do you get what I mean? Or if you know you're tracking down another rogue,
okay.
That's
whatever
the way.
reason,
Yeah.
you know, you could be in a, let's say, a hostile situation and someone has just walked in. Let's say there's a brawl in a tavern, but it's hostile and this person...
Yeah.
And it's you against someone else, and then this other rogue that you might know from one of the guilds or however you might know them walks in, and you are talking to the person who's hostile towards you, but in that, using your code to give them a signal. I would love to see that because I just think that's great roleplay.
Yes, Mr. DM. Anything else?
But you get what I mean? I just think it adds fun and dynamics to the class, and it's not just, all my class can do is be a stabby person or, you know, do you get what I mean? I just think it rounds it out a bit more.
Yeah. And that's quite a cool... I don't know. If you are playing in a party full of rogues, let's say this is a campaign that your friends want to do and you all want to be spies or assassins just going around doing things, it does mean that when other characters come in, be it guests that you've invited or NPCs that your DM is doing, it does mean that your whole party or even just 2 of you can have a conversation about everyone else in the room, which is hideous and also very fun. It doesn't even have to be a battle plan or anything else. It's just a little tweak that make it quite a fun little add-on.
When I'm back, I will come up with a way that you can use it in the campaign whenever you want. So if there are situations, I'll give like like say it's every other word in a sentence that you use is the code. So then you have to come up with something.
Challenge accepted. Okay.
I'd give you time to write it down.
The next fun thing a rogue can do is cunning action.
Yes.
It can really absolutely just wind everyone up. The fact that also I'm just going to do this as well. Bonus action. I'm going to do this.
That's your bonus action. That's the bonus action
It's
side.
a bonus action, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So you can run up, do sneaky boy attacks, and then bonus action, cunning action, disengage. I'm out.
Yeah.
Goodbye. Or you can, if it's a logical way to, I think we did this in the game me, you, Jordan, and Callum played, like a little prequel in Sleep.
Oh, yeah.
Where we had like this massive showdown at the end with the big bad, and I was literally like, "Cool!" I stab, and then I used my cunning action to hide behind a statue. And that was it. I just yeah. So it get really annoying for other people.
The only thing you need to be aware of is your sneak attack classes as a bonus action.
Yeah.
So obviously, if you use that, you then can't be like, "Oh, I run away." I'm pretty sure that's right. I'm pretty sure sneak attack works as a bonus action.
Yeah, once per turn, you could deal an extra 1d6. So that to me sounds like
that just says once per turn. If it doesn't use the word, if it doesn't say the term bonus action, then ignore me. I'm wrong. You can do a sneak attack and then be like, "I hide." In our first ever campaign that I played, I was a wizard, and Beth, who was a Lightfoot rogue, every time we're in fight would be like, "I hide under the wizard's robes," because I was like a 6-foot wizard, and obviously as a halfling they were like 3 feet, so she would just dive into my robe and be like, "I've taken shelter, sneak."
Shuffle forward.
But that's also really helpful with your like hit points, because you're depending on how high your armor class is and how many hit points you have, you want to be sneaky so that you can remain in battle. And if you get up close and personal with a big bad after your sneak attack and don't leave or hide, they're going to be coming for you.
Yeah, of course you are. Yeah.
So having the ability to be able to be like, "Nah, I did," like, real helpful.
And on that thing of and I dip. Now, very quickly gloss over the fact that at level 4, and then it happens level 8 and other levels, you get to boost your scores if you want to, or you can pick a feat instead. But after that, you get uncanny dodge and evasion at different levels. But like those two separately and together in terms of, and I dip, flipping heck. Like, uncanny dodge is the ability to half the damage of an attack that has happened on you.
Which, if you don't want to use a bonus action to disengage, you can take your chance, and I'm going to run away, take an opportunity attack at half damage, and then still get a bonus action. Right.
Yeah, as long as you can see that target or the creature that is attacking you, you're good. So if it was like, I'm a step away looking at them, and then they go... you're good. Do you get what I mean? If you're like, I'm going to turn around and run, it doesn't work. But that, and then evasion. So on area effects, especially spells, with things like Dragon's Breath or Burning Hands, where it's like a 15-foot cone. So typically on spells or area effects like that, it's a dex save. And what happens is, if you are successful, you only take half the damage. If you fail that save, you take the full damage. But with evasion, if you are successful, forget half damage, not a scratch. Not a scratch.
It's silly. You're red
but dragons. Then in my head, I'm like, you've got a wizard casting Burning Hands and you've just got this rogue flipping out.
So this hasn't happened to... me yet, because we haven't reached level 7 in our campaign. As I'm a tiefling and I have resilience to fire, would it be halved because evasion, then halved again? That's cracked. That's a lot of fun.
Yeah,
if it was a fire,
if it was a fire area,
if it was Burning Hands, for example,
and you
or fire,
failed your dex save,
I definitely have to check. I definitely don't see why it couldn't be at least. So say you did a good save and you only took half. Definitely half that damage again, in my opinion. But I don't see why that couldn't work in terms of you take nothing if you are resilient to that. Obviously, immunity is different, but I think I just have to look at the book for that. I'll find your answer, but I don't see why not.
Something that I had never heard of until playing Baldur's Gate 3. At level 11, reliable talent.
Yes.
Whenever you make an ability check that lets you add your proficiency bonus, you can treat a D20 roll of 9 or lower as a 10.
Yeah.
So if you were to go proficient in sleight of hand. If you roll an 8, it becomes a 10, and then you add your bonus on top of it. So my rogue in Baldur's Gate 3 was rolling like 33s for sleight of hand. He couldn't get lower than a 10. If there was a trapped disarm, he doesn't. He can't fail it. Unless he gets a nat 1, he cannot fail that.
But that's what you need. You're a rogue. You have to be able to, and if you are specifically a thief or I can't remember the rest of the toolkits, but anything that you need to be able to get in and out of the building. If you there are some others in there, I know it, but I just can't for the life of me.
Lockpicks, trapped disarm.
That's what it is. But that is the reason why we have rogues, is to be the sneaky, thievy people.
Yeah.
If your rolls are like me and real bad,
you could really benefit from reliable damage.
I'm starting to rethink which character I should have built.
Mentally respecking.
Yeah, I'm just
multi-class.
I'm just like, I would now like to change and add. Thank you.
But when you hit, you flipping hit. It's just the nature of the game. The character doesn't affect your rolls.
But having that as a little feature.
Yeah.
Get better hands, Hatty.
But then with things like Slippery Mind, where you gain proficiency in wisdom saves, the elusive feature where attacks can't have advantage against you whilst you aren't incapacitated. Now that's like a level 18 feature. But basically, usually where people get an advantage in situations, you've gone, nah, sorry, bitch, not my problem. That's a you.
Yeah.
That's a you problem, not a me problem.
I can see why you like this, Will. I can see why you like it.
I get to be a dickhead.
Yeah.
Then we play D&D.
And then we play
And then what's that final one? Stroke of luck. You can basically turn a failed ability check into a nat 20.
Yep.
And that's disgusting.
Can only use this once. That's the rogues version of like a one per. I was gonna say one per day, one per session.
No. Yeah. Once you finish a short or long rest, you just sit down for an hour.
Just have an hour.
And do it again.
Yeah.
So annoying.
Mad.
But like, I'm gonna sit down, have a drink. I'm resting.
Yeah.
Turn any ability check into a nat 20.
I want to pet the owlbear.
Oh no, I'm sorry. You're wasting petting an owlbear with a nat 20. I'd be like, I'd like to tame the owlbear.
Yeah.
Think of your words. Yeah,
this is just LaForest with his owlbear.
Like you, Jordan, and your flock of ravens. I have an owlbear.
Oh dear.
Brilliant.
There is another one which is blind sense. I'm not entirely sure, as I've never seen it before. But starting at level 14, you are able to hear and are aware of the location of any hidden or invisible creature within 10 feet of you.
Yeah.
So
you can't, within 10 feet, you can't be surprised. You're like, I know you're there.
Yeah.
Hello.
So anything being a sneaky, you're like, haha, nice one.
So at that point, you could argue a rogue would become a little bit of a tank, because they can't be surprised if it's within 10 feet. So you send them into the thin-ass hallway. If they do get a spring on the rogue takes half damage from uncanny dodge, uses cunning action to disengage and run back, then get the tanks into...
Yeah.
So what I'm hearing is you'd like to lead the party when we go back on campaign.
No guts, no glory, Hatty.
Okay.
I don't personally feel they'd become a full tank, but I do get what you mean. They definitely have the ability to get involved and have minimal damage. But because of that health point barrier isn't the same as a barbarian, like there is a difference, and you can totally understand why a barbarian's like, just hand me an axe and I'm in. But you've just got to be crafty about it, which knowing Will, he does crafty very well.
Yeah.
I do that.
But that's because you don't have the hit points of a barbarian to be able to charge headlong into a thing and take the 20, 30, damage and be fine. Like, I know for a fact that if my character took 20 or 30 damage, she'd be dead. So, like, and I have a feeling yours is the same. So having the ability to, like, sneak in, you can't be surprised. You can also dip at any particular moment once you reach a certain level, or evade or take half damage is real useful, especially when the battles are melee and not range.
Yeah.
Yes, 100%.
It's broken. Some broken abilities with the rogue.
But then I think when you look at it, you said that about the druid as well, and when you start to level up, kind of everything becomes broken,
Yeah.
but then the game gets harder. You don't know what the
enemies
DM's going
get
to
more
throw at
broken.
you.
Yeah, true.
Like enemies and bosses start to have legendary actions which can
Oh yeah.
terminate some of these things. So it is balanced. Like,
Yeah.
it does come into play. Just sometimes you're going to be against an enemy that only really affects maybe 2 members of the party, but you've got that one class that can go, oh, well, they're going to struggle, but I'm fine. Actually, I have what it takes to take this one on. Do you get what I mean? So it's all balance and perspective. Features,
I do
check.
think if you take some of the features and match them with the rogue archetypes, you can make it broken.
Okay.
You really, really can.
Right, hit me.
It's-
Hit me.
You go for sneak attack with Death Strike, which is an assassin level 17.
Okay.
Assassin archetype level 17
Yeah.
ability. Starting at level 17, you become a master of instant death.
Yeah.
When you attack and hit a creature that is surprised, you must make a it must make a Constitution saving throw. On a failed save, double your damage of your attack on the creature.
Yeah.
If you were to sneak attack with 6d6, get a surprise, you go Death Strike and they fail the con save.
Okay.
That becomes 12d6. Am I right in that?
Wait.
Yeah. Is 66 what you get at level 17 for a sneak attack?
No, sorry. At level 17, it's 9d6. So that would become 18d6.
18? Now, granted, it does sound like a lot, but also a d6 isn't the highest out of the thing.
7
However,
dice.
I totally feel you. I remember doing one of my villain one-shots, and they threw a pouch of dragon's teeth that basically allowed you dragon's breath into one of the wizards had polymorphed into a Tyrannosaurus Rex. It was a one-shot. rules. And so 5 different types of dragon breath spewing out of their mouth at 15 3d6. Because if a dragon's breath is 3d6 and then you had to multiply that 15 times, like, they massacred that city. That's all I'm saying. But 19...
You say it was a villain's one shot, just to clarify.
Yeah, it was a villain's one shot.
Okay.
18d6 is mental.
At level 17, it's, yeah.
Yeah.
So I jumped ahead there, sorry, in my partnering.
No.
Let's go
No, it's
through
all
the archetypes.
Well, you've
bit by
mentioned
bit.
assassin, so walk us through
Yeah,
assassin.
we'll start.
Right. Assassin.
Give us that quick
So,
little
assassin-
summary.
Assassin is for one who, if you want to become, well, an assassin, a spy, a hitman, I'm good at this analysis shit.
Yeah.
um,
Assassins is for when you want to be an assassin, is it?
essentially, sorry, and thief is for when you want to be a thief. Hey, is that what you want to hear?
That's what I want to hear. God, what it says on the tin.
Assassin is literally for I'm going to specialize in villainous crimes. In, you know what I mean? In the crimes where someone gonna die, and it is. Sometimes you can play the long game because this archetype allows you to either, like we say at level 17, you just do fucking massive damage.
Yeah.
But in the middle is stuff for character building and role play that will help. And we mentioned this while Hatty was away. We'll get there. But level 3, you get proficiency in disguise kit and poisonous kit. That's some Hitman level stuff.
So you get to hide and kill people with
You
your...
can hide in plain sight and poison the stew. I also
You're basically
level 3,
becoming Cersei Lannister.
Yeah.
Oh no,
That's a
I'm
level-
sorry. Better yet, Tyrell, the one who poisoned Joffrey.
Yes.
That is some assassin level shit right there. Tell Cersei it was me. Oh,
Yeah.
Also at level 3, you get just the pure assassinate, where if you are ahead of someone in the initiative order, you have advantage on that. Meaning you have advantage, so you can just get sneak attacks.
Yeah.
That. No matter what, you can be stood in front of them, but if you're in front of them in the initiative order, you just go sneak attack. That's it.
Yeah.
With my 9d6.
My gosh.
Did you enjoy that, Em? Good thumbs up.
Yeah, I did. I scratched myself and it came up, so I've turned it off. So I don't
Clip that.
understand.
I scratched myself and it came up.
There are so many good things for merch for them to do in this episode. It's ridiculous.
Right, we've mentioned assassins. Yeah.
Sorry,
You said something
the
about
last time
thieves.
Yeah.
So the last thing I'll mention on Assassin, because you had a good point about this earlier, was the infiltration
Yes, that's
expertise.
a very
It
good
does
point, yeah.
say
Oh, yeah.
that you take at level 9, you can unfailingly create false identities for yourself. All you have to do is spend 7 days and 25 gold pieces to establish a history, profession, and affiliations for the identity. I said, in game, 7 days is a long time. If you have a
Yes.
time-sensitive mission, the prisoner's going to be killed in 2 days. How are you going to get into the prison? You go, I want to do infiltration expertise. Well, that takes 7 days.
Yeah.
It's too late. But M came up with something really good.
Did I?
Was it? It was the... Oh, no, that was something else. That was in the Supreme Sneak. That's on Thief. So I came up with something good.
No, you can.
I came up with something good. So at the end of a session, if you were to say... the DM says, okay, right, in the next session, we're going to storm the castle.
Mhm.
So, and you say to the group around the table, cool, can we take some time to come up with a plan?
Yeah.
Because if I do infiltration expertise, I can create like a prison guard kind of thing.
Yes.
And in real time, if the DM can send you some information for you to use day by day, you can build out a whole new character and walk into the next session like, hello, I'm going to infiltrate.
Yeah.
I think that'd be really cool to use it outside of game.
Yeah.
But in game, I'm like, is that useful? To take 7 days to do something on a time sensitive mission?
I think it would, because you never know what the scenario is. And like we said, if it's a heist situation, like that's you taking time to case the joint, figure out its weaknesses, figure out the areas to avoid, and that is information the DM will obviously give you. It's like, during your 7 days, you have learned X, Y, Z. You've gone into this building several times and, recorded its layout in your mind, that sort of stuff. Now, personally, as a DM, though I get that feature says 7 days, like you said, if there was a thing of, the person's going to die in 2 days, I still think it can work. It just limits the information you get given.
Yeah.
I still think you should be allowed, personally, to learn some things because you're not going to learn everything in day one. So that's why it's 7 days.
True.
But in day one, you could learn some things that are still helpful.
For example, going back to prison, you can learn the guard rotation
Yes.
in a day. You just sit and watch.
Yeah.
That's a very good point. I like that.
Let's say you have chosen the assassin subclass. There's nothing stopping you from going to your DM on the side. This is what I have coming up. How do we want to do this? Yeah. Is this something that I work on outside of, or is the campaign longer and like our sessions, which are normally like a day, are actually a week, and I can just like learn it during the game? Yeah. Like, how is it working? Because every campaign is going to be different, and what will work for ours, if you turned around to M, let's say, and was like, this is the path I'm on, this is what I want to do, thoughts, and M was like, well, we only play for a day at a time, so you're gonna have to do it outside. Or actually our whole sessions span a month, so you'll be fine. So
it's montage of the week.
Yeah.
Yes. And then should we jump over to Thief? As you like to say, we touched on it. Thief, and we all said this before we started recording, is a roguey a rogue. It's a sneaky a sneak boy. That's essentially what it comes down to. It just enhances your stealth and your dexterity and your sleight of hand. Yeah. That is for those who, if you would like to be a pickpocket, if you'd like to be an infiltrator, it's a roguey a rogue. Yeah. So
basically, it's Bilbo Baggins.
Yes,
it is.
Yeah,
that's
I'm sorry.
No, but in my head, I've just got him like wandering through the Shire.
But he becomes their thief. Yeah, he's literally to excel into stealing, to lock picking, all that stuff. So
Yeah.
it's very traditional rogue, in my opinion. Like,
Yes.
Yes. Well, on the subject of the lock picking, at level 3 you get fast hands,
Mm,
and the phrasing of this, please can you explain to me, because it does not make sense
Okay.
for me. Starting at 3rd level, you can use the bonus action granted by your cunning action to make a dexterity, sleight of hand, check. Use your thieves' tools to disarm a trap or open a lock, or take the use an object action.
Yeah.
If you're in the middle of combat,
Hmm.
why are you going to use your bonus action to open a door? Surely there's something better you could do. Would that be... we're looking down.
No, I know.
Yeah.
It's the use your bonus action granted by your cunning action. So in your cunning action, take a bonus action on each of your turns in combat. So if you were in the middle of battle and the key was on the big bad to get out of the room,
Yeah.
you have the ability to use the sleight of hand check during battle and your dash, disengage, and hide to sneak up, steal said key, and get and dip, as I said.
Okay, so it just adds like a fourth.
Just adds a little.
So it adds like a fourth option you can do.
Yeah.
You can hide, dash, disengage, or make a sleight of hand check to try and do.
Yeah.
That
But
makes sense. That's very clever.
Yeah, it's essentially giving you a bit of extra cover in those situations, because obviously to do something like that, and that was such a great scenario, you've got to get up close and personal. So you've got to make sure that you're doing that to the best of your ability. However, also it allows you to disarm a trap really fast if there is a trap in the battlefield, or you don't know what people have surrounded you by. If you've walked into a field and people have been waiting for you, that could be your perfect chance to disarm what is ahead of you in a fast time. That means that you can get away or allow the party to brace themselves in case there is some sort of encounter.
I guess as a DM, if someone were to go, oh, I want to disarm this trap, surely you would go, well, that's going to be your entire action. That's what you're doing for these theoretical 6 seconds. Whereas this will make it a bonus action.
And also, it's not combat related, so you can't go up and just like knife them. You're going up to either disarm a trap, or get something off the BBEG, or just get across. If you are stuck in the middle of a corridor and things are coming at you through the walls, that gives you the opportunity to run to the end of the corridor and give people a way out. Without getting stuck, damage, or anything in the journey.
Spot on.
Yeah.
I think of it, Battlefield, most rogues, I think, have some sort of ranged weapon. So you could run towards the trap, shoot an enemy whilst you're on your way there. Yeah. And then use that bonus action to at least start disarming. So you've done something that others can start attacking behind you to make sure that you're covered, but you have a chance to quickly disarm a trap, so you can either proceed or at least break something of theirs that can't be used against you.
I have very cool imagery in my head of being a rogue sliding, light crossbow someone, just landing at the trap going, go! That's cool. That's very cool. I live my own fantasies in my head. That sounds weird.
I'm pretty sure there is a ward for that.
Kids' rooms. Weirdly, we are sat in an old insane asylum. Fact check it, it's true.
And then we've got other subclasses.
Yes. So Arcane Trickster, which is what you did indeed choose.
Again, I literally only chose it. I have only really read up on Arcane Trickster for this video. I literally only chose it because I want to do spells like my friends do spells. That is it. So
I love how you say that. We have 3 who are like solid spellcasters. We have a wizard, a sorcerer, and a druid. And then we've got 2 rangers who barely use their spells.
But I felt like I was missing out on the main bit of Dungeons and Dragons, so I was like, I'm just going to do this because I want to do spells. Didn't really read up on it. I only read up on it for this video. And I'm like,
That's fair. I think Arcane Trickster in a nutshell is basically you get access to magic. And as it says, Arcane Trickster, literally the thing I imagine in my head whenever I hear those words is a Loki from Norse mythology.
Yes.
Like I did a one shot with Kevin and Kelly not long after I moved into that flat with Tyler, and they were like, "Yeah, we'll give it a go." And I was like, "Okay." So I said, "Tell me something that you want out of a character, or give me a character that you would like me to base it off." And Kevin went, "Oh, I like the idea of like a Batman, but also kind of like Loki sort of character." And I went, "Well, both of them I would put as a rogue. Because Batman, well, I mean, maybe he could be an armed
Some kind of
fighter
or something like
but
that.
he's very stealthy." And I went, "But you've also said Loki." So I went, "You're an arcane trickster." It makes the most sense because you also get the illusion spells, and you get to do all the tricks, and obviously you get features that boost that as that goes. But I just think it's a bit of fun. I think it's a creative, not just I'm gonna blast you with this, but I'm gonna have some fun.
Yeah. Aww.
I think one of the coolest bits of Arcane Trickster is Magical Ambush, which again lends itself to a rogue using advantage to its strengths.
Yeah.
Where if you're hidden from a level 9, if you're hidden from a creature when you cast a spell on it, the creature has disadvantage on any saving throw. I think that is again I want to roll a stealth check to go hide in the shadows. Cool, that's a 24. Yeah, you're hidden, and now I'm going to cast a spell. Thanks.
Yeah.
It's such a good ability for a rogue.
But just extra seasoning on the already sneaky character you've created. It's just extra flavor, which is always good, and something you can either fall back on or use in battle, or while you're playing to just be like, actually, I'd like to set a distraction so that I can leave or move or do anything, and instead of creating something, you are able to just fire something from where you are using magic. It's incredibly helpful.
Yeah. Now, obviously, they're the main 3 from the PHB, aren't they?
Yes, they are.
There's like 6 others. Look at from Tasha's Cauldron and Xanathar's Guide. And I think the easiest way is just to give it like a summary. Because otherwise we'd be here forever. But you've got Inquisitive, you've got Mastermind, you've got Phantom, you've got Scout, you've got Soul Knife and Swashbuckler. And each thing bring a different flavour and dynamic to your rogue, depending on how you want to play it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
the Inquisitive subclass built around rooting out secrets and unraveling mysteries. So you are still sneaky, but you're more of like a spy kind rather than a thief, which is always good. We need someone to get in there and pick up on lies and deceptions.
Yeah. You can pick up on like people's tactics as well.
You can sense the presence of illusions and have massive bonuses on sneak attacks, which is again, it's very spy-like, and you're able to then just find things that aren't there, which is incredibly useful. When you are being sent into rooms to just figure shit out.
Yeah. Also, if you think as a normal rogue archetype, I need to make sure I'm getting this right. But in the normal rogue, you get the ability to sense invisible and hidden creatures. Blind sense, With this one, you also can sense the presence of illusions.
Yeah.
Which I just think it just sort of adds that, so you can tell if it's fake.
Yeah.
You can go, that's not real. So like if some sort of like mad spellcaster is going, I've got a beast form in front of you all threatening you, that rogue can go, that's not real. Walk on through it.
Yeah.
Do you get me?
Aww.
Just like that.
Yeah.
And that's kind of that with that one. Mastermind is cool because you gain extra proficiencies. You are the master of manipulating and tactics. You can cause attacks that aren't meant for you to be misdirected. I said that aren't meant for you. I meant that are meant for you. So, any attack that is meant for you, you can misdirect it and have another target take that damage.
Okay.
And then later on, you have the ability to also block things like telepathy from affecting you. So basically, people can't get into your mind. because you as a mastermind.
Yeah.
So just
gotcha.
for like people behind the camera, it's like a shorthand we have that
Yeah.
Emma's written up. But that does sound like I need to read into that one because and you can just move someone's attack to not you. I feel like I'm going to read up on that one after this.
I also
Please do your own reading. We're just going to rattle through these subclasses.
Yeah.
But that one sounds interesting. I'm going to read up on that one.
at the moment we seem to be forming like the team of Ocean's 11 with these subclasses. Because you got the mastermind and the spy and the thief and the assassin. I'm like, yeah,
That
right.
could be so fucking cool.
There we go. That's a one-shot done.
But on top of that, you also have the Phantom, where you gain one skill or tool proficiency of your choice every rest, and a sneak attack and an extra attack, and it's just all of... You're able to be a shadow, for want of a better description. You are able to sneak in, sneak out. You gain extra sneak and extra attack.
But as in, so you sneak attack someone, and then someone else who is within range, you then get to directly attack it then.
At half your sneak attack damage. So half the amount of dice, which is very nice.
So at this point, you will be a few levels up. So but even still, if all your damage die is 2d6, that is still an extra 1d6 at another enemy that you get to take off them. And I don't think that is worth discounting. Also, it's necrotic damage. So if someone is weak to necrotic, that will get the boost anyway.
Yeah.
So it might be a 1d6 because it's been halved. But if that person, for whatever reason, happens to be weak at necrotic, it gets boosted again.
The next one is Scout. The subclass allows you to become hard to pin down, gaining extra speed in reactions, proficiencies in survival and nature, increased normal walking speed, the ability to ambush, which grants you advantage on initiative rolls, which, bear in mind, is massive for a fucking rogue.
Yeah.
And making the first target you hit in the first round of combat easier to hit for you and your allies. So imagine you have a party of 5. You could take down that first enemy in one round. Done.
Yeah. This is a personal favourite of mine, the next one. Soul Knife. Now, I have... There's a few subclasses in Tasha's Cauldron that are based around like psychic abilities and that sort of thing. And I've kind of fallen quite in love with that. The character I've made for the Roll Imagination mini campaign that I'm going to be doing with them is based on an old character that I never got to finish because we had to cancel that campaign. So I've fused that sorcerer subclass with my paladin. But Rogue have a sort of similar one, whereas so you gain psychic abilities, which I think is epic. So then you get to cause psychic damage. You can communicate telepathically with your allies. You can turn bad rolls into good ones.
Yeah.
Because you have psychic die. So like
so
other classes have it. So basically you get a D6.
It's not just your character, it's the whole it's the whole rolling. Oh no.
Wow.
Yeah, so you can say you had a bad roll. You can use one of your psychic die slots to roll a D6 to add that onto your dice, which obviously that could make or break the situation. That could help you turn that. Especially, let's face it, I think I do it all that was just a miss with things like attacks and stuff like that. So you know you weren't far off. If anyone listens to the language I use, you would go, okay, I'm going to roll a psychic die to see if I can land this attack. Done. That sort of thing.
Okay.
You gain psychic blades that form out of your hands. So you never need daggers. If you get arrested or, kidnapped and you are bound and have all your weapons taken off you, you still have these 2 psychic energy-based daggers shooting out of like your forearm, I guess your wrist, like Spider-Man style, but oh no, that's that way.
Assassin's Creed.
Yeah, but also they're 1d6 damage, not a 1d4 like a normal dagger. So you've instantly got that little extra boost.
Yeah. Respect.
And then you get to the point where you can make yourself invisible, you can teleport, all that sort of stuff. I just think it's such a great one. And then you're left with the last one, Swashbuckler.
Yeah. Yeah.
Arg.
Yeah, if you want to be a pirate, let's go.
Which, again, I've mentioned Oxventure once. Corazon de Ballena they allowed him to multi-archetype because his background is as a pirate.
Hey.
So they're like, you can be an arcane trickster, like a couple of levels, like up to a certain point, but you are primarily a swashbuckler because you are a self-proclaimed pirate.
I'm personally not against that, because if you can multi-class, say, like I'm doing paladin and sorcerer, I've got to take so many levels. I feel like it's just the same. Unfortunately, you're not going to get those extra boosts from the lower levels because you already have it. So you have to accept that. But if you want to become an expert in 2 different fields within your subclass, I don't think it's obviously conversations with your DM, but I don't think it's out of the realm to do so. I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Oh, I want to be a player again. I've got too many ideas. But yeah, this one allows you to have like quick footwork, so you're able to strike an enemy and then slip away without activating opportunity of attack. You can gain a bonus. Yeah, exactly. You can gain a bonus to your initiative rolls, so basically they get advantage. So you can make sure that you're ahead of that pack. You get bonuses to cause creatures with disadvantage. So they are rolling with disadvantage on attack rolls, not typically against you, but against your allies. So basically you can protect others around you. And then the sneaky little one where you can re-roll a failed attack roll.
That'd be something for me.
Yeah.
Sorry, 12 doesn't hit. Hey, yo, but what if?
Yeah, what? Can I?
Yeah.
Let's go.
I'm going to take this and re-roll. Exactly.
Yeah.
Now, it could be worse, but it's still that free chance of just seeing if you can hit it again.
Yeah.
Imagine having it when you've already got advantage. Basically, third advantage.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, technically second, but the third chance. But you know what I meant. Yeah.
The takeaway from this episode is rogues can be absolutely game-breaking in the right scenarios.
Yeah.
But that is the rogue.
Yeah. Oh. But yeah, pros and cons, if we were going to fly through them. Pros and cons.
I mean, pros is obviously the little bits of chip damage you can get off with the power of having an advantage over your enemy.
Yeah.
That chip damage could be invaluable in some fights.
Yeah.
So that's my pro for this one, for sure.
Yeah, the ability to sneak in, sneak out. Just the ability to sneak. The amount of opportunities in a campaign that we have had so far with both yours and Em's, where we have had to sneak into somewhere, and me playing a barbarian has failed at every turn. Because
that's another thing. There's not many classes that can do what a rogue does.
No, you can't. Nope. There are very few that are able to sneak in somewhere and be completely undetected.
Yeah. I think the versatility within this class, it does come more from the subclass that you pick.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas like other classes, like we've mentioned before with the druid, they're quite versatile from the get-go. This clearly has a clear path, but then how you build it and what direction you choose can become really versatile. If you are a rogue who becomes very charismatic with your charisma stat and making you great for role play and social interactions in positive or negative ways, you can cover a lot of ground. Or that intelligence boost where you can become really inquisitive and be that one who is finding out everything, all the secrets, all the hidden doors, but also have that little magic boost if that is what you want. I would probably say my only con is their HP. Because you can do all this exciting things.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, they have a lot of features that can help avoid reducing your HP by a lot. But that does not mean they are invincible. And a smart DM will know the right ways of how to counter it.
Yeah.
Like, let's be honest. If I was to let you do that all the time, you would have no fun in the game. So I need to think of ways to challenge every class and not just have you walk through everything like it's a breeze. So I do think you will meet times that will be like, oh, if I get hit by this, even if it's one hit, that is going to take a significant chunk.
But it's not a bad downfall. You have all of this stuff, and the way to make the game fun is how you're going to attack the challenges presented. If you had no mortality worries, you'd lose interest very quickly because you'd be throwing all of these skills and proficiencies around without any consequence whatsoever. So I think it's quite nice that the only handicap a rogue has is the fact that the hit points are real low.
Yeah.
And they can be wiped out very easily.
Yeah. But not sorcerer or wizard low, so...
Yeah. Nice mid-ground.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Where are we ranking rogue on our favourites of the 12?
Where are you putting it? Because
again, I have bias, but learning more about the rogue, like I said, I just picked Arcane Trickster because I want to do magic. I think I prefer the sound of Rogue Assassin.
Okay.
I think Rogue Assassin, I think, would be up like number 1 or 2. But with my experience of a rogue, I'm actually going to put it below Druid. I'm going to put it at 4. I'm trying to think of the other 4. Yeah. I wish I had gone Rogue Assassin. Number 4 for me.
What about you, Hattie?
Yeah. Okay, it's not going to be in the top 3. I'm sorry. It's
4.
It's just not. I like the idea of it, and I love the idea of it from a storytelling point of view. Having a little assassin or thief, wonderful. Would I play one myself? Absolutely not. It just there's not. Getting over the initial being amazed by it, that's where my excitement kind of leaves.
Yeah,
it's a great character, it's just not for me, so I'd probably say 5 or 6.
5 or 6. Fair. Okay. Amir?
It actually probably sits about 8 or 9 for me.
Really? Wow.
Now, it's really hard because I have to think about. I'm kind of the same with Hattie. I'm thinking about what I enjoy, and I have had the chance to play non-magical characters. I've played a barbarian, I've played a fighter as well, and I look at everything that I have played. I haven't played a rogue. Now they do fascinate me, so maybe that would change if I played it. But also knowing what I do enjoy, and where I've ranked some of the other classes anyway, because I have played quite a diverse range. I just think unfortunately it falls there, but it's not because I don't enjoy the sound of it, it's just where I've already placed others because of how much I do enjoy them. So it's not it's there because it's bad. It definitely isn't that.
Yeah. No. It's there because there are some other races and classes that you
unfortunately
have
it has to fall somewhere, and I just can't justify it putting it above other things that I know I really enjoy when I haven't played it.
I've already got in my head what I'm going to put around the 89 mark, because I played it and I was like, all right, kind of one tactic. There's no variation on this one. So I think I already know my 8th or 9th place. So
fair.
I feel like I know what my 12th and 11th is.
I don't. You guys have already got it sussed. I'm like, I barely know where we are. I don't know what day it is. So
let's find out where we'll be ranking them in this series.
Yeah.
Season 2, baby. Season 2.
Wonderful. Right.
Hattie, where can people find us?
Okay, we can be
Stop
found.
banging the table.
It's going to collapse. Okay, you can find us on wherever you get your podcasts, be it Spotify, Amazon Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, or Google Podcasts.
That's a thing?
Yeah. Oh, brave new world, Will. Brave new world. You can find us on social media such as TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.
We're not going to call it the other thing.
Okay. And if you would like to write in, email in, don't write in, we don't have an address. If you'd like to email in with any questions or just fancy a chat, we are the BBEG Podcast at gmail.com.
Take us out.
Do.
Bye.
Thank you.